So finally, the news is out that Will Cain will no longer work for ESPN. His contract expires at the end of June. Now, this speculation about Will Cain leaving ESPN or ESPN is not going to renew his contract when it was up. This news has been out for like almost a year. I remember people talking about it on social media, the possibility of Will Cain being canned by ESPN, and this news comes to no surprise to me because ever since Will Cain was signed to ESPN, I just didn't see it a good fit. You know, I'm not saying that he wasn't an expert in sports, but I was looking at it as he's a sports fan. When it came to listening to Will Cain's radio show, his radio program, he comes at sports from a fan perspective. It wasn't it wasn't like he was coming in with stats and info about certain sports topics. It was basically his opinion and his belief. That's not the problem. That wasn't the reason why I was lukewarm on Will Cain. I felt like it was a new perspective, but I just didn't see the fit with Will Cain because his real heart and his real passion is politics around sports and entertainment. That's where he truly excelled in. Now, Will Cain, as far as, he was a fixture on First Take. Occasionally, he would be in some shows over at First Take. He had his own radio show. I believe he had a podcast sponsored by ESPN, but, he didn't have his own television show. Okay. And I felt like when they hired Will Cain, it was an odd fit. And as the years went on, I felt like ESPN gave up on Will Cain, saying, "Well, look, this isn't working." All right, I thought, I felt like ESPN was trying to be the smartest guy in the room, hiring somebody, because if you look at Will Cain's background, and if you look at his expertise, you can really see Will Cain working for CNN, Fox News. He has those type of credentials. But, when you look at him as strictly a sports commentator, you just, really didn't see it there. I felt like I said earlier in this video, I felt like Will Cain was he was coming at the perspective of a sports fan, all right? Not as a sports commentator, a sports announcer, a sports columnist. He just came from that perspective as a sports fan. Now, he just admitted yesterday on his radio show that his contract is up at the end of June. He's going to tell everyone what he's going to be doing for the foreseeable future on the last week of the Will Cain show. Now, a lot of people are speculating that he's probably going to go back to his roots. He's probably going to be working for like Fox News, be a commentator there, because that's where when you look at his bread and butter, that's where his experiences is in politics, okay? And politics with entertainment and politics of sports, okay? I'm not saying the guy wasn't knowledgeable. I just felt like he just really wasn't a good fit. I felt like he just got hired for the wrong thing, okay? And, ESPN is not going to lose any sleep on Will Cain. Life goes on with ESPN. They have let go of a lot of people for the past couple of weeks. And I told you guys my reasoning behind that. I feel like due to COVID-19, the coronavirus, and the canceling or the suspensions, however you want to take it, of a lot of sports events. There's not really a lot of sports events to cover. Therefore, you don't need too many people, and not only ESPN is going through this, Fox Sports 1 is going through this, NBC Sports is going through this, CBS Sports is going through this, where they're looking at they're looking at the foreseeable future, and they're also looking at their payroll. And they're just shrinking their payroll. They're just doing normal business operations, okay? So I told you guys with the Josina Anderson piece, as well as the Jason Whitlock piece, that I feel like a lot of these sports networks are just cutting and reducing payroll because there's really not a lot of things to cover. Therefore, you don't need so many people under, your network, okay? And I feel like as the weeks go along, you're gonna be hearing a lot of sports commentators, or analysts being let go by these major sports networks because for the foreseeable future, we don't know what's going on. Now, the NBA said that they're going to resume their season. I believe they said in August or July. But it's not official. It's not really in concrete. And we don't know anything what's going on with the NFL. We assume it's business as normal, but they haven't really even spoke or talked about their upcoming season. And Major League Baseball is struggling to try to figure out, are they even going to, how many games are going to, announce or play, and the bickering between the owners and the players about guaranteed contracts. We don't know what's going on with Major League Baseball and the NHL. Now, NASCAR has resumed. The MMA, UFC, they have played a couple of bouts during this pandemic, and but when you talk about the four major sports, you don't know nothing. You don't really know concrete what's going on with those the four major leagues. Okay, I said network. So that's in a nutshell what happened to Will Cain. And like I said, my guess, and I said this in the video, and I also said it in previous videos, I feel like he's going back to Fox News or CNN. I think he's going to go, I think he's going to take the political route. His expertise are more political than sports entertainment, okay? And like I said, he looked at it and perceived it as a sports fan when he covered sports topics. He didn't, douse you with info and data and things of that nature. He just came from his perspective. And I think he's going to work pretty well, pretty great in that, if he goes back to CNN or Fox News. I think he's going to really excel in that line of work. And I'm not saying, he didn't excel in ESPN. I just didn't see it as a good fit. Louis Riddick was talking about he could possibly see Will Cain, doing Monday Night Football. We'll see. In order for him to do Monday Night Football, he'll have to have a contract with ESPN. And I just don't see ESPN renegotiating or renewing a contract with Will Cain. They might let him be like a freelancer, so to say, where, certain, like if they have certain topics to cover that's connected to sports and politics, you'll probably see Will Cain's face at ESPN. But I feel like primarily he might even go freelance, but I think primarily he's going back to his roots. He's going back to news networks more so than sports networks. Okay, and the guy is knowledgeable. And like I said, I don't have no problem with him, but I just felt like it's more business sense than personal. Okay. So that's that's all I got to say about Will Cain. Guys, check out later on this week. I'm going to talk about the video, well, what Drew Brees said and what forced Roger Goodell to make that 2-minute video about Black Lives Matter. We're going to get into all those topics sometime this week. So I'll see you guys later. Deuces.